All right, Matthew Oliver here with Oliver's Updates, giving you information from Placer County and beyond. But today, even further, some of you guys know Pastor Matthew Oliver and also the owner of House of Oliver. But I am here today with Ben Pauling. Did I butcher all of that?
No, you're good.
I butcher names so great. It's the best. And, you know, we do a lot of things where we try to get you information, update you on what's happening throughout our region. And this is a part of that, but it's deeper, it's bigger, and in my opinion, kind of more important than a lot of the things that we do. Ben has written, directed, starred in, and is continuing to finish a film that's kind of just gone viral, massive, and as much as I love creativity, the arts, I love people taking a risk and jumping off. The theme of the film, the premise of this film is what really captured my heart. Ben, take it away. Tell them a little bit about what happened, the beginning, what this film is about, and what's going on.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you having me on, Matthew. And I've been a filmmaker pretty much my whole life. You know, started with acting.
Listen, you look like you're 12. You can't say that my whole life when you're so young. I can say my whole life. You can say like for the last 5 years or so. I don't know. You're so young looking.
Well, I did. Yeah, I just shaved. That's probably
okay. All right. That's good.
But yeah, this story came to me in 2020 from a dream I had. The film's called Dream, and I woke up from this dream where I was standing at the gate of this industrial warehouse in what looked to be just a normal place of business off this desolate road, fenced with chain link fencing. And I looked into the blacked out windows, and I just sensed that there was children in there. And this guy comes up to the gate, the security gate, and he's asking me what I'm doing there, and he starts coming towards me like he's going to kill me. And I wake up from this dream, and I'm immediately just feeling God's heart for like, what would it be like for these kids that are going through this?
Wow.
And I woke up in the darkness of my room, and I was just thinking, man, what is a night like for one of these kids every single night that they're living in this? And I was convinced that this place was real. I told my brother I went looking for this place, and I just spent hours driving around looking for it. And although I never found it, or at least I haven't found it yet, this story came to me, and I wrote it out. And essentially it's a story about a young man whose little sister goes missing at a fairgrounds event. 3 years later, she's never found. Him and his group of friends break into this warehouse, and they uncover a child trafficking ring in their small town.
Wow. I just got chills by that. That is awesome.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it's becoming more aware, an awakening in America of the fact that we can't play pretend anymore. There is a child sex trafficking pandemic that's been going on, and it's been very hush-hush. No one talked about it.
I think it got a lot of noise when Sound of Freedom came out.
Sure.
And, you know, but a story like that, and what's often a story in a lot of missionaries in our churches and a lot of local churches, they send groups out to go. They hop on a plane and they go somewhere else where they think they're helping.
Yeah.
And they don't realize that when they get back home, that issue's going on right here.
You know, they say the Galleria Mall in Placer County is one of the hot spots where this child predator exchange, all sorts goes on right here in our backyard.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of hotspot areas. I mean, Sacramento for a long time was one of the top 3 areas for it, you know. And I was talking, you know, we have essentially an amazing group of big people that are part of the film now in different areas and different walks of life. One of them he's a professional skateboarder named Ryan Scheckler. He's great friends with Tim Tebow, and so he was over at Tim's organization's one of the top organizations fighting this. Yeah.
I call him Timmy. Yeah. But, you know, whatever works for you.
And Timmy, yeah. And he got invited, you know, a couple weeks ago into kind of a private meeting, and him just being an outsider, knowing about the cause, wanting to be supporting it, he got in, you know, the back door of what they're doing and what their operation, the cases they're dealing with. And, you know, he called me directly after, and he was just like, man, I thought I knew what was going on in our country, but I had no idea just how evil this is, and images he saw and the things he could just never unsee. And it just branded his heart with like, I'm going to do whatever I have to do. whatever I have to do.
No, but so you get this dream. You get this wild God dream, which I'm a fan of. I've read the Bible.
Yeah.
God dreams are all throughout
Yeah,
it, despite what people, might be thinking like,
Yeah.
whoa. But you don't just first go, God dream, now I'm going to make a multi-million-dollar movie.
No.
You go, God dream.
Yeah, so I actually, at first I thought I was just going to be looking for this place.
Yeah.
Then I'm driving around, and I just happen to always listen to movie soundtracks while I'm driving.
Yeah,
And
because that's what people do.
Yeah. And
What's your favorite soundtrack you listen to? We can't go on without that.
Well, the song that was playing was the Shawshank Redemption soundtrack. And it was...
That's intense.
Yeah. And so the story just came to me. I was like, man, what if I did find this place? And that'd be crazy, right?
Yeah, it'd be nuts.
And so I actually went and hold my buddies like, hey man, let's find this place.
You have the kind of buddies who are like, yeah, okay, yeah, let's go. Like other guys are jumping off rocks and doing crazy stuff. We're like, yeah, we're gonna go look for your dream.
So
shack building thing.
Yeah. And
warehouse.
Exactly. Yeah. And I didn't have enough confidence in any of the spaces we scoped out that it was the place to go risk our lives over. But I thought, okay, well, I'm going to write this out. And so I was just going to do a small short film, 7-page little film. And I sent it to one of my good friends who's down in LA, and he's like, let's do it. This is awesome. So we just started building it, and we were going to shoot that short film. We were going to just fund it ourselves. And then right before filming, that kind of fell through. And then everyone was like, well, this just deserves to be a real movie. Why don't you just write it out? I was like, nah, I don't want to keep waiting. I've already done that. I've written 10 screenplays,
Okay.
But I just went in anyways. And immediately I churned it in to an 80-page script within like a couple of days. And that's when I stepped into my flesh in my own desire to want to get things done. And I knew in Hollywood, if you get an A-list actor attached, that the money comes and you can just make the movie.
Yeah.
So I had sent
Tom Cruise.
Okay,
no, we're not going there.
I had sent an offer without having any money to an actor through their agent. Got to the actor. It was Casey Affleck.
Oh, I love it.
And immediately the next day, he's like, Casey wants to hop on a Zoom, wants to talk, wants to.
How did you get a script in front of Casey Affleck?
I don't know, but
I
was immediately. He's asking me all these questions. Hey, where'd you get the money? He's like, oh, we got the money. Don't worry about that. And I was essentially just trying to do Ishmael, essentially make it an Ishmael type situation. And so we got $4 million fundraised around it with traditional financing in Hollywood. We're getting ready. And then right before filming, he pulled out.
So then all the funding pulls out.
All the funding slowly pulled out after that. And then we were like, okay, well, that was probably for the best. But at least I know this has validity, and this story is a story of what was written that pulled him in.
Yeah.
And Hollywood wasn't interested in the trafficking element. They were interested in the story.
Yeah.
And I was initially just interested in the mission.
Yeah.
And so maybe that was God's way of keeping it out of ulterior motives' hands. And so essentially we made this trailer and we
So you just shot a trailer.
Yeah.
The trailer is not segments of the movie. It's
right.
a trailer.
Yeah. So we shot a trailer, and I held on to that for 2 years, just pitching it around Hollywood. And everyone's like, this is the best trailer we've ever seen.
Great.
But we're not going to let you make it.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm not going to let you make it. And so nothing happened. And it was actually 2023 beginning, I decided to take a fast. And it was for 7 days I took a fast. And it was during those 7 days just working and not eating. I was just watching a lot of stuff online. And I saw a video of this guy named Troy Brewer who's rescued over 11,000 kids over the last 28 years.
Mm-hmm.
Sharing a story of one little girl that they had rescued in Colombia with one of his rescue centers. She was mute, traumatized, wouldn't speak to anyone, wouldn't respond. And he'd never met her, but he saw her picture. And he was on his anniversary trip in Florida with his wife, and he goes to sleep, and he has a dream. And in his dream, he had gone into that rescue center. She saw him, ran up to him. He said, hey, I'm your Papa Troy. It's okay for you to start talking now. She fell into his arms, started talking, was just totally healed.
Wow.
He wakes up. He's like, I'm going to fly to Colombia and see if that happens. It happened exactly like his dream.
No.
And I'm hearing this testimony, online. I'm listening to it while I'm about to go to sleep. And I wake up when I start feeling, the Holy Spirit moving over me. And I tie it to his organization. And next day I have my team watch it. And I go and I take that little girl's story and I implement it into my screenplay.
Wow.
And then a couple months go by further, and we go through the Angel Guild. We're getting traction in what I think is
Because you've
another
got
route.
now you've shown this trailer. Now you've shown it to Hollywood, but then you've kept it to yourself. Now it's online. Now it's
No,
out.
it hasn't gone
No,
out.
no.
At that point, I just put it in the Angel Guild, which is it's
Okay.
a private entity.
Yep.
And that did really well. And then
What's really well mean?
meaning that they have about 200,000 people in their guild that approve whatever they want Angel Studios to make. And you have to score a certain rate for that to be
Yeah, because
considered.
I've never, I've done a lot.
Yeah.
I've never had the Angel Guild
Yeah.
rate me.
Yeah.
So I would take my project, I submit it to the guild,
Yeah.
and then they rate it. And as
all
it
those
gets,
people watch whatever that torch is that you made and they rate it. And the scaling is like, would you be disappointed in seeing this? Very disappointed if it's not made, or you could care less if it doesn't get made.
that's it. You got three
And about
choices.
50% of the people said that they'd be very disappointed if it wasn't made, which is the threshold's 40%. So we did
So you're there.
really high. And so we're waiting for that. And then I start hearing people not to go that route. I was like, okay, well, we'll see. And then nothing happens. I don't hear back. And that's kind of against their guidelines to not hear back. Because if you score, you're supposed to. You pay money to get in. But I had sensed that God was doing something else. And then I heard, when they raise funds, they also spend a lot of money to raise their crowdfunding.
Yeah,
and
sure.
they take that out of the money that you've
That you're
garnished.
raised.
Yeah. And so I just felt like, okay, well, I'll just post it online. We got nothing left to lose.
Let's go.
I'm on the way to church, and I was going to have an influencer do it, the big following. I don't have any following. I don't have any.
Yeah.
And they tried to post it, but the audio wasn't working. It's like, okay, let me try it on our little 0 follower account. So I posted, I go to church. Within an hour, 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, million people see it.
Town.
3 million, 10 million people end up seeing it.
10 million people.
Yeah. And I get invited on news networks, podcasts, and meeting different people all around the country. I'm flying all over the place, meeting with different people and then talking about the film, talking about the mission. And we end up raising, through crowdfunding off of just a couple different podcasts like this, sharing on some bigger podcasts, we end up raising $1.7 million.
And I would like to invite you to come and take our offering this Sunday morning at the family church. I mean, that's no small joke right there.
No,
That's
it was
legit money.
And about $500,000 of that was just donations, because the donation parts of the film, the ROI from that's going all towards rescuing kids and that work.
Wow.
And so went into production last year, and much like your friend, we had actor issues. We had unprecedented industry, behind industry standards attacks. Just didn't make any sense. That was like, no one understood what was going on. And so,
which we know what's going on.
Yeah.
We know what's going on.
So we held on. We raised some more money. Did a trailer with much of the film of the real film that we actually shot. That went viral again over another almost 6 million
So
people
now
saw
there's
that.
a trailer, maybe the one I saw, which is like an incorporation of
real movie footage
and previous footage.
Mostly the real movie footage, but we didn't complete it, and so I had to raise more money and go back into production this summer. Wait till the weather gets right again, and I knew I had to go back and do that first initial scene at the introduction of the film where everyone's in this crowd and this tragedy takes place, and I just felt from the Lord to book those dates and invite people not only to be part of the film, but to stand together with us prior to filming and to proclaim and to pray and to believe for God with what He wants to do when it comes to this issue in our country.
Well, we know what He wants to do.
Yeah.
He wants to set the captives free.
Amen.
And so I've got more questions, but let's do this first.
Yeah.
So June
7th through the 9th.
It's a Saturday, Sunday, Monday night day.
Day is the event, prayer, worship, people gathering, speaking, proclaiming. It's also D-Day weekend. We're going to be having a kind of a ceremony honoring that with some veterans that are going to be there that have partnered with the film. And a lot of these guys that are doing this rescue work are former military veterans.
Sure.
And
they've seen it firsthand. But you've got Pastor Sam Rodriguez is going to be speaking. You have
Shane Winnings, president of Promise Keepers, also going to be there.
That's huge.
Yeah. Matty Montgomery, he was a frontman of a band called For Today.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Pastor Troy Brewer as well from Texas. Steve Schultz, he's a prophetic voice, and just a lot of other people like that are part of the film in the film.
That are like me, and like you. So basically, you're opening this up. The community can come out.
Yes.
This is the Auburn.
It's the Gold Country Fairgrounds.
In Auburn.
Yes. So.
Gold Country Fairgrounds in Auburn.
Yeah.
This is this coming Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Correct.
That you want them to show up and be a part.
Yeah.
Because you're filming.
Stan, yeah.
This is it. We're filming. This is one of the last things you need to do for the film to get this thing done.
It's the first part of the last leg. Yes. Yes.
Like how I do that. You could have just said yes. No one would have known.
Yeah.
But between me and you, I like your honesty.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
So we got a little bit to do, but this is an important part.
Yes.
And you
this
need
is,
people.
Yes, we need people
But
to
on
come.
top of that, you're not making it a fake thing.
No.
You're going, let's pray.
Yes.
Let's come together.
Yes. Let's unite. When
God.
two or more agree on anything, it shall be done. And I believe that the church needs to not only stand up for life and for adoption and for preventing abortion, but for this issue. And it's a tough issue for a lot of churches to bring up or talk about, but we have to face the reality of it. And I believe that when we do that, there's a power that comes with that in the spiritual realm that stands against, and the darkness has to flee. And I just believe that this is going to reverberate through the rest of the film.
I like this guy.
Yeah.
I think that this is awesome. You know what's crazy about it is you just told me before we started the podcast is, you're coming in here, you got your movie actor looks, you got everything going for you. You're young, you're writing screenplays, but you live here.
Yeah.
This is your community.
In fact, we churned down millions of dollars to keep it here from tax credits. And, actually last year we turned down shooting in Oklahoma. We're getting ready right before we were about to take off on the flight to go film over there. We won like a $600,000 tax credit.
Yeah.
And I just felt convicted to not change the setting, the character of what this story's been set in, which is here and where we're from.
So you're filming it here. The majority, it's filmed right here.
Right here, it's going to be in Auburn, Lincoln, Yuba City. Some stuff in Sheridan. Yeah, we're making use of...
I mean, that's here.
Yeah, that's here. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So this is a story, our community, and we're asking our community to come and be a part.
Yes.
But more than that, to stand together, because this issue, sex trafficking, we can't continue to pretend like it's not going on.
No. And I believe that that there's something powerful that breaks in the spiritual realm when people gather together around that and face the darkness together. I think it's not an impossible task. There's nothing impossible with God. And I believe that he's there's going to be an innumerable amount of people being transformed and people being rescued and just miracles taking place.
So you got worship going on.
Yes.
You got some amazing worship leaders going to come and be a part.
Yes.
Amazing speakers. You're doing baptisms in the river.
Yes. Sunday morning
baptisms in the
American
river.
Yes.
And where can they get this information?
Well, if you'd like to come, you'd like to be a part, you can go to event.dreamfilm.us. You can help partner with us to continue sharing this story. You could also bring your family and commit to being part of this filming of this scene that's going to live on in cinematic history.
Yeah.
And if you also want to, follow us on other social platforms.
And since you're not saying it, if they want to donate to help you raise money, where can they do that?
They could also do that at eventdreamfilm.us. There's different links on that to where people want to invest or if they want to donate, depending on what level you're coming in at.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's not difficult to find. I Googled Dream.
Yeah.
And it was number one. It just popped right up. So somebody who's doing your SEO and getting it all done, they're doing their job. You should say thank you to them. Really well done. And I'm loving it. So when this launches, I mean, and who knows? Yeah. It's hard to put a time because I know that world can get a little murky.
Yeah.
But this is just a continual step in what God's called you to.
Yeah. Yeah. Just really for me, at the end of the day, it's just about following and obeying Him and honoring Him. And right now, this is what He's called me to do. What comes next, I'm not sure, but keep following Him.
Do you like the writing part, the directing part, or the acting part better? Which one do you feel most comfortable with?
The writing part's the one I feel most comfortable with. I've done a lot of writing, and that's kind of intimate time with the Lord. But you can't just have one without the other if you're going to make a movie. So I think the most growing aspect has been the directing and the learning how to lead and learning not just how to make a movie, but how to lead a team on something that could very easily become, like everything else out there, ego and just learning how to remain humble, and
you're doing it. I don't know about the remaining, but you have a very sweet, humble spirit about you. And I love it because this will go down in history that we're sitting right here doing this interview because then he's going to be, transforming lives on such a big stage. And I'm honored to have you come in. But more than that, what our heart and passion, whether it's from the family church where I pastor, whether it's from House of Oliver, which is our business, whether it's from keeping our community updated about what's going on in Placer County. It's about community. It's about impacting
100%.
lives. It's about transformation, and it's about serving.
Yeah, we can't do any of this on our own. We all need each other.
Yes, sir.
And that's what this is all about, really. It's about coming together because when we come together, we are the hands and feet of Jesus, and we could do anything.
In Placer County, I'm just gonna stand on a soapbox. It's probably one of the best, most amazing communities.
Yeah,
and we get to be a part of it. And when we're looking for a community to rally. And we're looking for a community to stand and join together. No one does it like Placer County. They really don't. And this community knows how to do it. So I'm asking you, get uncomfortable or whatever you need to do and come and join next Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Pick a day. What's the most important day for filming if they're going to be there for that?
Well, I think the hardest day will probably be Monday. So if people want to commit to Monday,
Commit to Monday. What are you doing on my kids are out of school now? And, you got a day. So come out and bring them out and join them. It's right up the street.
Yeah.
Come and hang out. And then if you need to get refreshed after you're done, go to House of Oliver. We'll take care of you.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you coming out.
Thank you, brother.
And I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward. I don't know what part you need to cast me in this movie.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't
know if you'd want to be in the parts we have to cast left.
Some people say I probably fit those parts. I can't. I'm busy those days. But thank you so much. I'm looking forward to you guys doing it. And then do the things that you guys do best. Like, subscribe, follow, go out to the dream. It's titled...
the Dream Revival for Rescue.
Dream Revival for Rescue.
Yes.
Man, you got to watch this promo. You got to watch this clip. We'll make sure we have the links to it. But follow them, support them, come out, and then take a moment, share this. Let's spread the word. And then you know what to do. Let's continue to make Placer County awesome.